here at Hackmore Brewing. I'm here with Becca Naill, Contract to Close. We got an awesome event going on behind us, so we're going to make this quick because I know you got to get back to it. Becca, you got a really unique business. I haven't actually heard about this before. We just started talking a little bit ago.
Yeah.
So do you want to kind of tell everybody a little bit about what it is that you do and how you integrate within that real estate transaction?
For sure. Contract to Close is a transaction management business for real estate agents. Our whole goal is to partner with real estate agents so that they can focus on lead gen in their own business. So what I've learned over the almost 10 years that we've been doing this is agents are phenomenal at building those relationships.
Yeah.
They are the expert in leading their buyers and sellers through the home buying and selling transaction. However, they might either not be great at the details of contract writing and just facilitating all the admin stuff and there's so much of it that goes into a real estate transaction. And even if they are good at it, it's not where their time should be.
That sounds like it sucks big time. Like honestly, like all the like the typo, like because like you're providing a lot of information to the title agencies, right? And you're
Correct.
working like you're kind of the overlord of everybody.
Yeah, I call us the quarterbacks, but overlord.
That sounds way more like powerful. I like that one.
We take the contract and we break it all down. We provide all the parties with everything they need. We're helping the buyers and sellers know what to do next.
Mhm.
Because there's so many things required of them, and it can be incredibly overwhelming. And as an agent, if you don't have those systems in place, you're kind of shooting from the hip and tend to get missed.
So then you look bad, which is never good as an agent.
Great. And if it's like, hey, I forgot to have you sign this. Oh, we still need this signed. The buyers might question, do you know what you're doing? So at the end of the day, we make agents look good. The credit gets to them. They get the referral business, the repeat business. They get everybody going. That was a really great experience.
So like part of the business model of real estate agents in that transaction, a lot of it is just everything's internal. They're running this like small business. It's all them.
Yeah.
So like the lead gen, the sales management, pipeline flow, like all of that is where they try to put their focus and make it be the operations. But the operational side of it is a lot of what you're saying. So pretty much you've gone into this part of the industry and you've like segmented out the stuff that sucks.
Yep. And is it income producing? Because it's already business that
you've already sold it. It's
Yes.
moving.
Yep.
Deal's done, right? You're already after the LOI's been accepted.
Well, we come in just once the offer's been accepted on a home, and it's
So it's done.
So we run from there.
Oh,
Yes.
gosh.
So we just get it to the closing table, and then the agents can turn around and go find that next deal and really focus on that.
Now that I know this exists, I might become a real estate agent now, like for real, because
we will welcome you with open arms.
Yeah.
And my team is excellent. They know, we've closed 10,000 transactions. They've seen just about everything. So you might be an agent who has been really productive, but you've sold 30, 40, 50 homes, and you might not have seen certain circumstances. We're there as your partner to get you through those hiccups too.
So is there like a certain size of agent, like a number of transactions a year that is like a sweet spot?
Generally speaking, 20 to 30 transactions a year is where agents say they start to feel like they're dropping balls. And that's typically when they turn to us. But we have teams who do 200 a year. We have brand new agents who just don't know what they're doing and they don't want to do it wrong. So
Smart.
they bring in a partner, Contract to Close, who knows what to do to get us to the finish line.
And you didn't make this up, right? Like this is a thing?
This is a thing. Yeah, I didn't.
So my bad, I didn't know that. But now that I do.
Texas is where I started as a transaction manager, but we didn't really have a lot of third-party contract to close products or companies or transaction management companies, I should say. It's called Contract to Close in Texas is actually the name of the position, which is where I stole the name from. So that's when I was like, hey, Minnesota contacts that I have.
This is kind of a good idea.
Yeah.
So you just brought it to the market.
I did in early 2015. Yeah.
So it's super new.
It's pretty new.
So you're in more than just Minnesota, though. You said you're in 6 states?
We're in 6 states.
That's amazing.
Yep.
And then essentially the deal gets accepted, the offer gets accepted, and then you just start
And we run with
making
it.
stuff
Yep.
happen.
We run with it from there.
So what's like the most unique thing you've ran into in a transaction?
People dying in the middle of the
So
yeah, I mean, like sad, like that type of thing.
Why'd you have to go there? Just kidding.
I mean, that obviously throws a pickle in the transaction.
Kind of messes it up.
But we've had like the night before closing, all of a sudden the laundry room flooded after the buyers had done their walkthrough, and that was really suspicious.
Like somebody flooded it.
We think that it was done deliberately.
Like a pissed off next door neighbor or something.
We don't know. It was very weird. It was very suspicious. So like that kind of stuff is
So
odd.
what about like crazy bug activity or like wildlife? Like
More Florida, Texas, for obvious reasons. We see that down there. I know somebody once had a really bad snake situation in an Austin property because they don't have the basements.
well, that's where the shit can kill you too. Like
Yes.
so.
Yes, you could die from
Yeah.
those. We don't have a lot of the weird bug stuff in Minnesota, fortunately.
Unfortunately for me.
Unfortunately
right?
for you. But there's like the bats, right?
For
and the
sure,
mice
yeah.
and
We love those.
possums and raccoons and all
So
that
you
stuff.
and that like actually makes it to the level that you're at. Like you
Well,
hear
yeah,
about that
because
stuff.
if they have a pest inspection and there's a bat infestation, right? Well, now we've got a whole situation to deal with, and abracadabra is going to come out, or we're going to do whatever, and the sellers have to rectify that situation before the buyers are going to close on that property because
It
they're
sort of
not.
like adds this new process into the whole procedure.
Yes. Yep. So now on our end, we're
You're
connecting with
pissed.
abracadabra. We're
Nah.
making sure that the sellers rectified that situation, and then did they pay for it? And we need the invoices. We need to provide that to
Oh my
title.
gosh, this is literally my nightmare job. I totally understand the value you bring to
Yeah.
agents. So how do you currently get new customers or new agents that you work with?
We are very much word of mouth, and then we have an organic opportunity to show our skills to the co-op agent who's on the other side. If they don't have an assistant, if they don't have a TC, they might be like, wow, you guys made that really
so you're
easy.
almost always prospecting. Like
We
either
are.
you're working with two people that know you or one person that doesn't, and it's a W. That's
Yep.
amazing. I
Yeah.
love that.
But then I offer continuing ed classes. So I teach transaction management to real estate agents. They get continuing ed hours for it. And
How long have you been doing that for?
Well, I've always taught. I've taught as long as I've done this because I was a teacher for 20 years. So it's just very natural to me to teach. But then just this year, I set a goal for myself to get approved for CE, and I'm approved. So
So let me get this straight. You were a teacher, which that's probably like the only job that would be worse in my mind than the one that you currently have. You just like you just like that stuff, the hard stuff?
I just like the hard stuff, I guess. Yeah. Well, I taught social studies to high school students. I loved it. But teaching became a really tough career as a mom with teenage kids myself, and they're all adults now. But at the time, I wanted to be around and be present more.
sure.
And teaching is really kind of two full-time jobs. First full-time job is preparing what you're going to teach, and then you teach it all day, and then you go home and you prepare for the next day.
it's brutal.
A good teacher does that.
And they're underpaid for just like the second job where they go teach it. Yeah.
My 24-year-old's first job out of college made more than I ever made as at the top of my pay
I would
scale.
quit immediately. Like if I was still like I'm out. So
Yeah.
What are with the agents that you meet, what are like 3 things that they think they know and can manage that they're actually like not good at?
The details. They think they've got it under control. They think they've got their systems, but what they're really doing more often than not is shooting from the hip, and not because it's repetitive. Almost every transaction is basically the same process, but they think they have it in their head, so they're executing everything that needs to be done from memory, and inevitably they're having that 2
Is
a.m.
that
wake
kind
up.
of part of the real estate agent profile? Like shoot from the hip? Like I'm sure there's some that are more process oriented, but
Yeah, and again, if you're process oriented, that's fabulous. But your time should not be spent running
doesn't
your
make
files.
sense. It's all about fill the pipeline, get more in the pipeline,
Yes.
remarket to the pipeline.
Yep.
All that.
Yep.
Okay.
I've only ever had one agent say to me, "I actually like doing the paperwork." Every single agent has said, "I hate the paperwork.
brutal.
The paperwork drives me nuts."
So-
One said she loved it.
Okay, so tell me about like kind of what prompted the jumping into these other markets that are more than just Minnesota. You saw opportunity there too?
Pretty natural in that, like organically also. So Texas was first, just because that was where I was.
You stole the idea
I stole the idea from Texas. So
at least you're honest.
Then, but I mean, why reinvent the wheel?
Yeah.
It was a fabulous system. So then Minnesota, and then Texas, we just grow organically by word of mouth. And then we've got a ton of agents down there. And then a lot of Minnesota agents were being dual licensed in Florida so that they could also sell houses down there. And then they brought us with, and then we grew because we had exposure to agents on the other side. We've got agents in Kentucky and Virginia, both word of mouth from collaborations.
So this is all grown organically?
Yeah.
Incestual within the real estate agent space. I mean, that's good for you, right? You don't have to put any money into the marketing side of things.
I don't market. I do sponsorships like this. I don't market aside from social media, free marketing.
So love that.
Yeah.
So where do you see your business going? Like, what's your goal with it?
That's a great question. I'm 51 years old, and my husband and I are looking down the road at our exit strategy. I will sell my business probably in the next 10 years. We did build a franchise. Should we want residual income down the road, we have that.
So you like built it out?
We just haven't. Yep. We have no franchisees yet, but we have the whole thing built out. I just don't. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And if we want to go that route, we have it available to us. I'm looking forward to doing more teaching because that's what I really love being.
Right there.
So I think, at some point I'll sell the business and then I will teach when it fits in my schedule.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us on here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
If any agents out there want to reach out to you, like, what's the best way for them to get in contact with you?
Facebook, Instagram, Contract to Close Minnesota. Send me a message. My contact information is all on there. Becca at ctc-mn.com is my email. And we make it super simple to join. We try to make it as easy as possible because nobody wants one more thing to do.
For sure. Thanks again. Really appreciate you coming on.
Thanks. This is great.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks again for joining us on Homegrown Hustle. Our local business community thrives because of the brilliant leaders right here in our backyard. And it's been an absolute privilege to provide them with a platform to share their invaluable expertise. Stay tuned for more insight, wisdom, and inspiration from our local business champions. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast platform. Together, we'll continue to nurture and expand our homegrown success stories. Matt Eichmann signing off until our next insightful episode.